earlier this month, China has been taking a lot of Russian crude at these great prices in May and June. So far, it's taken even more than before. Do you see that continuing at the same rate?
Yes, well, we expect it to continue at least for, well, until the end of this year, say if the prices of other grades stay so high. And for May, say Russian crude average $93.66 per barrel. That's about 15.1% below the grade from Saudi Arabia. So it overtook Saudi Arabia for the first time in 19 months as well. And this trend will continue surely for at least many months to come. Yes.
Okay, and I mean, and what's China planning to do in terms of taking in a lot of crude, maybe putting it into storage, obviously, and using it too much domestically in terms of refinery activity? What's happening on that front? Will China start to pump out a few more products for its own use domestically as the economy recovers for the region? I mean, it's got some great deals there at the moment to make some margins, but it's not really taking advantage.
No. Well, actually, domestic demand is not recovering so fast now. Say diesel demand recovered faster in May, but the recovery has come to a stall now because of the hot weather, rain in southern regions, and the production recovery has also slowed down. So because it's recovered faster in May, so diesel demand is not growing at the moment. And oil giants had quite high stockpiles, but they are not exporting more gasoline or diesel because of the government's policies. Now, energy security.
Why doesn't the government give them more quotas if it's good, makes economic sense? I mean, why aren't they doing that? If it'll help economic activity, if it'll help bring money into the economy.
Yes, well, because, well, energy security comes first now. We face much more, greater uncertainties than before. So China is now making sure it can strengthen energy security. Say, well, for the first 5 months of this year, the country actually put about 1.2 million barrels per day of crude into storage at such high prices. And last year, when prices were not so high, it just put about 280,000 barrels per day into storage. So you can understand why, because for one thing, is forcing refineries to cut production when domestic demand is not strong. But most of all is trying to ensure energy security. Yes, and in the future, when its spare capacity is not enough, it's limited. When it's limited, it will slow down the purchase, because actually domestic crude runs are quite low now. It's dropped quite significantly on a year-on-year comparison. And we do not expect it to rebound very significantly yet in the near term.
Well, let's talk about Iranian crude. Of course, some of that has been flowing to China consistently while Iran has been under sanctions. It looks like Iran is going to remain under sanctions for a while and become more entrenched in that sort of gray market along with Russian crude in the months to come, at least. Where does China fall on that one? How much Iranian crude are you still seeing flowing into China, or has Russia kicked Iran out essentially from your interest?
Well, for now, official data do not show much imports from Iran. As you may know, some cargoes might be shipped first to other countries and then transshipped to China. So there's no official data showing how many cargoes China is importing from Iran now. But if the price average for Russian grade continues, it's quite possible for Russian crude to replace cargoes from Iran. For now, the price of Russian grades in May, as I said, was $93.66 per barrel. is the second lowest among all the grades to China, just slightly about $2 above those grades from Malaysia. But you know, Malaysia kind of blend cargo as well. So the price are very close to each other. And if this price edge, I mean, advantage continues well, and in the future, if the price advantages expand, it will be more possible for Russian grade to, yes, to make a bigger dent into the Iranian grade.
Bora, you know, we're not hearing in China, we're hearing more about COVID problems and the opposite. We've got actually QE, quantitative easing in China, and the government's pouring money in again to get things going. Are there any concerns on inflationary aspects in China? Putting oil aside, you're getting cheap Russian oil at the moment. What about everything else that on the consumer side?
Well, on the consumer side, the inflation is not significant yet. And say, when we go and buy vegetables, well, prices are slightly higher than last year, but not like the UK or the United States, say maybe just about several %. And it depends on different. Say some vegetable price might have gone up by about, say, 5%, 10%, but it's not all the product prices. It's just some kind of some products, say maybe some vegetables, but not all product prices have gone up quite significantly. It's not like that.